In this video, we'll talk about formatting styles, updating the style to match your preferences. This is a really important and cool thing to be able to do. So we've got this document that we're working with, and we want to have the instructions have us modify or apply heading 2 and heading 3 styles. And we're supposed to do it in the same way as the example document. So you'll follow those directions. I'm going to kind of walk through that here. But first, we're going to do a heading 2 first. Those are the two main topics of this particular paper. We don't have a title, so we won't use heading 1. Of course, like we talked about before with the ADA specifications for heading styles. So let's go ahead and add our heading here, and that is teacher training. Now to make this heading 1, we've got our cursor up there on that line in that paragraph, and we click heading 2. We're also told that we need to modify heading 2, the style to be centered, excuse me, dark blue text, bold, shaded in light blue, and have a bottom borderline. So we have two heading 2s. Let's change this one to heading 2 also. So now we have this and this are the same style as indicated here. So now we're going to modify this one. We're going to select just one. We only have to do this one time, and I'm going to show you how that's applied across the document. So we highlight teacher training, and then we want it to be centered. We want it to be dark blue text. So we come up here and choose one of these dark blue texts, or we can use one of these down here, the one that actually says dark blue. We want it to be bold, and it already is, shaded in light blue, and a bottom borderline. So let's go ahead. First thing, I'm also going to change the font. If you come down here, the rest of the document, or at least this part of it, is in Calibri. So I'm going to change this one to Calibri also. Okay, and now we're going to do the borders and shading. So up here on in the paragraph group, there are a few ways you can get to this dialog box that I'm going to. This is the way I'm going to show you right now. We're going to come over here to the borders box, click on the down arrow next to it, and then come here to the bottom where it says borders and shading. All right, so we've got borders. We want a bottom border line. So we've got a line here selected. We can change the size to whatever size we want. Maybe we want it a little thicker. And then we apply it. You can apply it on the left or the right, the top, the left, or the bottom, or all. You've got these shortcuts here to do it. So one way to do it is just like that. We also want some shading. So we want it to be light blue, like that. Okay, that's all there is to it. Now you have your bottom borderline, your light shading. Now that looks the way that we want it to look. I'd probably use a lighter blue personally, but just for demonstration purposes. Now what about this one? If I come over here and click heading 2, it's going to stay the same. If I come over here and click heading 2, it's going to revert back to its old way. So what do? I come up here, I've got my cursor in this paragraph where I've modified this heading. Then I come up here to the styles group. Under heading 2, I right click, and then I update heading 2 to match selection. And now you can see we also had another heading 2 down here that we'll get rid of. We have this one that we'd made heading 2 now is the same format as the other. Let's see, let's make that one a heading 3. We'll come back to that. That is all I'm going to show you now. It's heading 3. You can follow the directions, do exactly, take the steps that I did here, make the modifications that it specifies, and that's all there is to modifying headings to match what you prefer. So rather than shopping for a style that you're looking for, you can modify the style and then use it throughout. You can create your own styles, essentially. So I encourage you to practice with that and enjoy.